Hello and welcome back to Sarah's Joyful Journey. I'm Sarah Joy and this is episode 45 of Tea Tuesday. Let's go make our tea. All right, for today's tea, we are going to use this Twinings Peppermint Strawberry with black peppercorn kick. I chose this because it's almost 3 o'clock and I don't want caffeine, but I also kind of want something fruity and light. So this is going to be perfect. And I'm going to use my Royal Albert Miranda Kerr Friendship Series. I just absolutely adore this series. Everything about it is fantastic. Yeah, so, and just look at that beautiful flower. It's nice pink, mint green. All right, let's get our tea started. Here is our beautiful cup of tea. And as I'm sitting here holding it, and it's lovely and warm, and I cannot wait to drink it, I have to admit I'm kind of sad. I don't know if you noticed, but I had to pour my hot water into my mug from a measuring cup that I had to heat in the microwave because I went to turn on my tea kettle and it died. I've used it every day for the past 10 months and it was not a cheap tea kettle. So I'm very sad that I don't have, I technically do have a tea kettle because as soon as I noticed that, I went on and I bought another tea kettle. It'll be here in the morning. Thank you, Amazon. All right, let's try some of our tea. I chose the right one. It's perfect, it's light, it's fruity, it's got no caffeine in it, which I'm working really, really hard to keep my caffeine consumption down, especially not after like 1 o'clock at the latest, because I'm focusing on sleep. All right, well, let's dive into Tea Tuesday. It's been several weeks and I thought long and hard about bringing it back and figuring out how I could get my content to work best for you guys as well as work best for YouTube and work best for me. So it was a long, tough decision, but I am so excited to announce that Tea Tuesday is back. I really enjoyed the Joyful Life vlog series, and vlogs will be coming occasionally. But if I'm being honest, they didn't do very well in the grand scheme of YouTube. And my goal is to grow my YouTube channel, and that takes work and effort and dedication. And I have to make decisions what works for YouTube, what works for viewerships, and also what works for me. So it's trying to balance it all. And Tea Tuesdays did phenomenal before. They did very, very well. I love them because they give me the outlet to talk about what's going on in my life, with work, with school, with health, with what I'm reading, what I'm crafting, all that kind of stuff, and make it in an easy to find bundle for those of you that like to do it. Because when I did an individual book video, it didn't do as well, which is fine. I have no problem, but I will still keep books and crafting towards the end, and we'll talk about life in general and how life is going with my health journey up front. So if you're new to Tea Tuesday, I hope you enjoy it. And if you're not, welcome back, because I'm so glad to be back here. We'll start off with health. How's my health journey going? It's having some major successes and big wins, but it's also having lots of challenges. We'll start with a big win. I have noticed over the past couple of months, and it could have been longer, but I've just kind of sort of been conscious of it. It really hit me this past week that I'm a person who loves food. I enjoy food. There's nothing wrong with that. You should enjoy what you're eating. Previously, I would have classified myself as a person who loves to eat. Okay? Now, or a person who lives to eat would have been a better way to say what I was going to say. But now I'm a person who eats to live. That does not mean that I'm not enjoying my food, because I am. I'm eating wonderful foods that I enjoy, that I like having a lot. I still eat, I think even more so now that my schedule is crazy busy. I eat on repeat so much, but I do enjoy what I'm eating. But I'm not living to eat. I'm not constantly thinking about what my next meal is going to be, because I've prepped my kitchen to sustain me and have plenty of options where I can just grab and go, whether that be with meal prepping, which I haven't really done actual meal prepping. It's more like I have quick ingredients and then I can just heat it up, or I've been making a lot of chicken bowls, which is fabulous because I'm enjoying them. So I've done some cooking, but pretty minimal cooking over the past few weeks, which just works. It's just in the season that I'm in. But it was nice to realize that shift had taken place. And I can't pinpoint exactly when it took place. It may have been a couple months. It could have been a lot longer. But it hit me last night as I was just trying to calm my mind and relax and get into a good sleep pattern, that was a change. So yay, go me. And that's huge, because I never thought I would be there. I never thought that would be something that I would get to say about myself, that I just eat to live. And I do. I eat like just enough now just to kind of like get through the day, which I've noticed has been smaller meals lately. I've been doing over the past couple of weeks. OMAD has been a thing. I did eat some breakfast this morning. Did I eat breakfast this morning? No, I worked on a recipe. So I technically ate breakfast this morning. Yeah, we're just going to leave it at that. It really wasn't a breakfast, but I ate. So it counts as food. But it was more like little tastes here and there. And then I just ate some lunch. It might be my only meal today. It was rather small, and I have a feeling I'll be hungry later. So I might make some dinner. I might not. I do have food planned for tomorrow for this week's cooking video, so I will definitely be eating that. But I've been doing a lot more intermittent fasting. Usually I stop eating by like 6. I try not to eat after 7 at all, period. Just, it's a no-go. Sometimes I'm done eating by like, honestly, like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I've been doing a lot of like 20-hour fasts, 22-hour fasts. So I try to make it till about 1 o'clock and eat my food. And then like I said, they've been OMADs. It's what's working well for my schedule. It's what my body is wanting. I just don't have a whole lot of time to think about food. And that's a good thing. It's a blessing. It's not a curse at all. So I've definitely been enjoying that. Weight is still going down very, very slowly. I have lost 4 pounds in 6 weeks. And that's not a complaint. I'm super, super happy with it because the food has been on point for a long time. I'm really good at the food part. What's not on point, in the part that I'm really struggling with, and I'm going to continue to struggle with for a while, just because I'm in a season where I'm super busy and I can't dedicate what I want to do totally now, but I am working still on it. And that is the 20% where it's movement, it's stress, it is sleep. So movement is mostly non-existent. I do try to get up from my chair at work and go for walks. I do try to be more mobile when I'm home. However, there's a lot of schoolwork. I do so much sitting. I never would have considered myself a sedentary person, but where I'm at right now with what I have on my plate, I am absolutely 100% a sedentary person. I don't like it. I do want it to change. I don't know how to implement it right now, just because stress has been a huge, huge thing for me. And I'll get more a little bit into it at work when I talk about work, but stress has been really, really bad lately. And I'm doing my best, and I know if I can get some more movement into it, it would help, but I'm almost too stressed out to really do that right now. And I know this season is short, and I will get back to my movement goals soon. But I'm also trying not to stress myself out by putting pressure on myself to do them right now when my plate already feels extremely full. So I've kind of given myself a pass on that. It's not a permanent pass. It's just a season I'm in. And right now I don't have the ability to do it, but I need to try, and I am going to try, and we'll see how it goes. But one thing I am working on and is going really, really well for me is sleep. The past 2 nights I haven't done it, but I am getting a consistent bedtime. I usually start my Moon Brew, which is my magnesium cocoa that I have been enjoying now for a few weeks. I just ordered 3 bags of it. I've missed a couple nights, and I notice a difference if I don't. It's not a major difference. Honestly, it's really not a major difference at this point if I miss a night. But I haven't missed more than 1 night in a row. So if I stopped altogether, I might notice a big difference, but missing 1 night, I don't notice it. But my overall ability to fall asleep, because that was part of my problem, is I would go to bed at a consistent time, but it would take me forever to fall asleep. I'm now falling asleep really quickly, usually about 20 minutes-ish. If I'm super tired, which I've had a few days, I'm out in 5. But that's how I know that I'm very, very tired at that point. But because usually it's about 15-20 minutes for me to go to sleep, which they say is ideal, according to my Aura ring. So that is going well. I'm consistently going to bed. The Moon Brew is helping. My deep sleep has increased. I'm feeling more rested, and better sleep is helping with the stress to a degree. But yes, stress is a major component. So we'll talk about how stress is taking over my life right now, and that involves with work, which, for the record, I still love my job. Absolutely enjoy my job. The past month and a half has been a lot for everybody. We have been under a pressure cooker. It's probably closer to 2 months now. We switched reservation systems, and things didn't get done correctly with the switch. It happens. There's always things like that. Not blaming anyone. But the system doesn't work the way that we anticipated that it was going to work. And let's just say I am getting lots of on-the-spot problem-solving skills. Also, I have to deal with frustration that simple tasks, which I used to be able to do very, very quickly, are no longer quick. They're actually longer. Some of the tasks we do are longer, and it's taking us longer to do it. And we're getting behind schedule on things. And there's also a lot of additional work trying to correct things that went wrong with the data transfer, and data went missing. Lots and lots and lots of data went missing. It's actually very sad. So we're having to put back in all that lost data, which in our case is lost reservations, which is leading to significant overbooking issues on certain weekends and certain days. And that in itself is stressful. It's stressful for not just us, but it's stressful for everybody that I work with. Everybody is literally under a pressure cooker. The stress was so bad for me yesterday. I was trying to manage it. I was doing really well. We turned out the lights part of the day, which was wonderful. We kept them out for most of the day until the clouds kind of came. It was 4 o'clock and it got cloudy and it was hard to see. So I did ask them to turn the lights back on. I'm like, my old eyes can't handle this anymore. It was wonderful of what lasted. We weren't on the phones yesterday, so I was able to plug in music, and I picked nice, soft, soothing music, which also helped just to have that little bit of it lessened the stress. Yet there's so many problems. And things are, like I said, aren't going the way that they were supposed to. a couple of my sweet coworkers that usually get along really well, just yesterday, they butted heads. They both apologized really quickly. They both were like, you could tell, and we were away from guests. We're in the back office. You could tell that it was stress. They both immediately apologized to each other. They're like, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have snapped. I shouldn't have done this. I'm not normally like this. We're under a pressure cooker. So, I mean, they both got it right away. But they were, for a while there, it was heated. And my stress level was going up just listening to them. I broke out in hives. That's how bad the stress was. It's not okay. It's not okay. So I'm trying my best to work on it. It's going to be small. It's just going to, and I just got a picture of a cow and I cannot wait to go look at it because it's a cow. And I love them. Feeling emotional right now just because there is so much stress. And because there is so much stress, it's kind of created a trickle-down problem when it comes to school. School's still going well. I will talk about it. I have several components that are self-paced, but I've put myself on a vigorous goal, and I'm not meeting that vigorous goal currently. But this week, there was so much stress at work. So I came home and I chose to read and I chose to do other activities to relax and not add the pressure of school. But that meant I got behind. And now that it's my 2 days off, I'm trying to play catch up. And I don't like playing catch up. So it is leading to a little bit more stress. I am trying really hard to maintain the fact that it's okay if I don't meet this goal, but still doing everything in my power to meet my goal, because my goal is actually very realistic and it's extremely important to me because it's my certification. Once I get done with this live component, I will be a certified coach. Okay? I can start taking clients. I can start working on my coaching hours as soon as I'm done with this advanced coaching section. Once I finish the front portion that's self-paced, then I will be a master coach. But I want the master coach certification before I start accepting clients to work on my 50 sessions to become board approved. I don't know that I'm going to get it done. And technically it's okay. I can still be working on that board approved stuff, but it sets me behind. I was already thinking that I was going to take the boards this year. It ain't happening. The earliest I can take the boards is going to be in the spring. I could maybe pull off November. But every time I sit down and think about trying to get everything done, have all 50 coaching sessions done, study for it, done, paid for it, get a hotel, because the closest place to me is Jacksonville. And the tests are like at 8 in the morning, and they're 4 hours, 4.5 hours long with no breaks. Well, there's a 15-minute break halfway through. But either way, I have to drive up the night before, and the test itself is $500, and then I have to pay for a hotel room. I'm not worried about a hotel room after I'm done. I just drive home. Jacksonville is like 2.5 hours, 3 hours. It's not that far. It's doable. On the way back, but I do want to make sure that I get plenty of sleep the night before. So I do have to drive up the day before. So realistically speaking, I will probably not be able to sit the boards until spring. And I'm trying to come up with a backup plan on when to finish all my master coach materials by. I'm hoping that work will calm down and I'll be able to do more in the evening, or at least calm down enough that I feel like I can do homework in the evening. We have not had any downtime at work, and before the system, we didn't have a lot of downtime. Well, we did more on weekends. Like Saturdays and Sundays were like cushy days. They were my favorite days of the week to work. Because like there was hardly any calls. We got through our work really quickly. So we had a lot of downtime to either read a book or work on school. And I have not had any of that, which is technically fine because I'm there to do a job. And my job is not based on my downtime. It was an added bonus that I really enjoyed having. And my boss has been amazing with the fact that I got thrown into the life coaching program sooner than I anticipated. And she's rolled with me. So, and I appreciate that. And I'm staying on top of the homework for the one class. I'm just behind where I want to be on the other one. So hopefully today I will get a little bit more done. And I know the light is changing. It's very cloudy out there. And it looks like it might actually rain. So we'll see. I might have to adjust the ring light in front of me, but for now it's okay. All right. So yeah, that is my life in a nutshell. It's just crazy stressful, but it's a short season and I'm okay with that. I can still get to my health goals. They're a little paused right now on some things, but all is going well. Okay, we're going to go into books. If you are not a member of the Facebook group, I think you should join. I'm trying to do better about posting more in there. Again, life is very busy. I'm trying to get better on a lot of things. I am not perfect, but I do the best I can. But one thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to start a book club. So we're starting one. If you want to join, fantastic. If you don't, that's fine too. But I picked 4 books for March. I'll tell you who's winning in the poll so far, and you can comment down below on which one you want to read. But I've picked 2 educational self-help-ish real books, nonfiction, and 2 novels. I voted for a novel, by the way. But yeah, so the first one, which this is currently winning with 3 votes, is The Salt Fix, which I do want to read this one. And it's a nice short little book. It's, let's see how many pages before the references and notes. There's a lot of references in here. Okay. Okay. To get to the end before the appendix is 188 pages. So super short book, should be easy to do. It's currently the winner. The next one is definitely self-help. And it's research. It's for me. Like, I should read it. It was recommended, so I grabbed it. Start with why. Yeah. I'm finding everything in life comes down to having a good why. Why do you want to do it? Why is it important? Why is it relevant? Why is it going to help you? So I got that. Then the next one, this one has 1 vote, as one I left before this video, is Truth or Beard. This is a romance novel. It's supposed to be spicy. There's no votes for this one, but yeah, so this is one. And then there are 2 votes for this one. So it's pretty much coming down to these 2 books right here, which this is Work in Progress. And it's by Kate McKenzie, and it says falling in love was not on her to-do list. I so want to read this one so much, but I will read whichever one is the winning vote. I picked them because I all want to read them all at some point, but let me know your favorite. Is it The Salt Fix? Is it Work in Progress? Is it going to be Truth or Beard? Or start with why? So leave your comment down below. Go join the group. The plan is that we will do some sort of live chat about our book at the end of March. I will announce the winning book on next Tuesday. I might make a community post before then so that you can start working on it, so that you can join us on March 1st for reading a book. And if you have a book suggestion for the month of April, definitely leave it for me. All right, that is that section. Next, I have actually read 2 books this week. 3 books. I finished 3 books. 2 I read start to finish. One was it was a novella. So we're talking, it didn't say exactly how many pages, but we're talking like less than 200 pages. It took me just an afternoon to read, and it was perfect because the pace of the book was super fast. It was nicely spicy. It was a Regency romance book that you just got into the story and it just like progressed quickly, but it grabbed you, held your attention, and it was that nice break and escape for just a few hours where I got done with the book and I was like, oh, I loved it. That's what I needed. I just needed a bit of a break to get that done. Sorry, I'm messing with the light. We'll go back. But it was called The Beast's Ruined Bride, and I can't remember who it's by, but it is right there. I did rate it 3 stars. Wasn't fantastic, but it very enjoyable. I really, like I said, I liked it. It has 2 chili spices. And then this next one is by Ember Lee, and I enjoyed it. I would probably rate it like, it's still about a 3 to a 3.5. I did mark it as a 3. It was decently spicy. I really enjoyed it up until the end. She tied in the next book, which I do want to read because I'm interested to see what happens. But it kind of drifted from the main character, the main guy and the main girl. It didn't end with them. It ended with one of the brothers, which is in the next book. But I still enjoyed it enough. I did read them on my Kindle. I've bought several digital books. I'm not going to go through them with you because I bought bundles. And digital books they're a thing, but I don't pay attention to how many digital books I have. But I do have those 2 digital books done. The other book I finished this week that it shouldn't be a surprise because I've been working on it since January is I did finish The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. I didn't rate it. It's so hard to rate like a self-help book. I would give it a 4. There was a lot of parts in here that I knew. There was a lot of parts that I appreciated the reminder of. And there were definitely parts that were challenging. And I think that's what a self-help book should be. It should remind you of things you forgot. It should encourage you to change. And it should challenge you as well. So definitely loved it. There was a couple chapters in here that I thought my mom would really enjoy. So I bought it for her and sent it to her. And she's going to read it because I have, let's see if I can find a page. I have highlighted in the book. And yeah, lots of things to remember, lots of things that I thought was awesome. It really tied in with psychology. So it was pertinent there. It was tying in with homework. It was just like the timing for the reading this book was perfect. And there were chapters where, like I said, that were challenging and I have to work on things like the fact that I have a coworker who doesn't really work and I have to stay in my lane. That's easier said than done. I do okay most of the time. I think I have decided that I'm going to say something to my boss because it's really bad. It's really bad. But I haven't 100% made up my mind because I should just stay in my lane. So yeah, I really enjoyed the Let Them Theory. Next, I haven't touched this book in a few days, mostly because it's deep and very descriptive, and it is raining outside now. There's a lot of world building with it. It's a fantasy romance and I'm loving it. Hopefully I'll get some time to go read through it some more. I am doing a tandem read with it. So I am reading and listening to it on Audible. I'm listening to it at a faster pace on Audible so that I'm actually reading at the pace that I really read. But listening to it on Audible is helping me with the crazy names that are in here. But I am reading When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. And it is a romantasy, and there's beautiful artwork. I'm on chapter 8, so I am literally like 50 pages in. But there's beautiful artwork all throughout this special edition book. And it's a story that grabbed me right from the get-go, and I cannot wait to dive into more. But it hasn't gotten read because it's not the quick escape that I was looking for stress reduction, which is why I read 2 digital books this week. Last book. I am working really hard on not buying a whole lot of books. Actually, that's not entirely true. I'm not buying a lot of books because my book money is being spent on my certification for my coaching. So I don't have the budget for a lot of books, which is fine. It does force me to focus on which books I want, and I have a list, and I'm going down, and I just forgot 2 books, so let me grab them real quick. But anyway, I grabbed those books, and I'm not buying a whole lot. Put it this way, I bought 3 in the past 2 weeks. Just 3. And y'all know I usually buy books in 2s, and I can have some really big book hauls, which is fine. I'm running out of space anyway, so it's fine, which is kind of why I've been buying some more digital books anyway, because Kindle is almost unlimited, and I've been doing a lot of books off of BookFunnel too. But anyway, back to what I bought. This author is an auto buy for me for the most part. There's only one book that I started reading that I didn't really get into, and I might get into, but I might not because it's just not my thing. But anyway, it's Ali Hazelwood. I bought Deep In, the special edition. It is supposed to be super spicy, not much plot, and jumps into the spice at the get-go is what it has been described as. So I have a feeling I'm going to really like this, and I'll probably start it before too long, just because I have a feeling it's going to be that good escape where I just get lost in a book, and this will be worth it, I think. Then I got Broken Harbor, which is the 3rd book in a series. I got the special edition. I have not read any of these yet. I'm already committed to buying all of them because they are romance, and romance books for the most part, if I'll just buy a romance book. I love romance books. I'm a romance girly. That's what I read. I read dark romance and contemporary romance and historical romance and spicy romance, non-spicy romance. I read, if it's romance, if it's romantasy, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna consume it. It's my thing. And then this one was a dark romance, which, let's face it, is my second favorite. It's like my favorite subgenre in a lot of ways with romance. I read a lot of it, mostly because it's pretty spicy, and I do like that. And I do like a heavier subject matter. So this one is called Give Me a Reason by A.L. Jackson. And I do apologize if you hear Piper. I have a feeling it's going to start actually storming because she's starting to be anxious. So we'll see if she lets me go. But anyway, this is a book about a single dad, enemies to lover. It's a standalone romance about a jaded cub owner and his son's teacher. So it has that little bit of taboo in it, and I'm super, super excited about it. So eventually I will get to this one too. I am thinking I have all these wrapped books, and honestly, they're starting to stress me out. And I'm starting to want to pick books that I know that are within here. So I might be opening them. I haven't 100% made up my mind. So they're currently all still wrapped. But my thought was I could pick 10. And then I have 10, 1 book a month for the rest of the year. We'll see. I haven't decided. I'll keep you posted. But right now, I'm currently thinking that because there's books that I would have grabbed this week because I wanted to read them. The desire was there, and I didn't know which one they were. So it was frustrating on that spectrum, but that's okay. Next, knitting. I actually have some. Last time we talked, I showed you a picture of a sweater I was working on. Hang on, I'm pulling up the current picture of the sweater I'm working on. And I could have figured out where I was at. I am an advanced knitter enough to do it. But honestly, I was loving the sweater so much, but I was not liking the yarn because it's just white. And I'm not really a white person per se. So I ripped it out and then I found this one. It's going well. I've made some modifications to it. I wish it was better shaped, but I think it's going to work. But anyway, it's a Swiss pattern. I don't even know if it gives me the name. It does, but it's in Swiss and I'm not pronouncing it. But it's this cute little cardigan and it's on a cute little girl. Well, young lady. It's done all in one piece, which is fun. It's got the short sleeves, which I think is going to be great for the office and for work because I can wear it over a skirt or pants and a tank top, whatever. It's got the Fair Isle in it. I do not have buttons for it yet. I haven't figured out which buttons I want yet. Haven't even figured out if I'm really going to I think I'm going to put the buttons on it. I don't know if I'll actually close the buttons. I usually don't close buttons on my cardigans because if I want them to fit through the shoulders and the arms, I have to size them down. Because I am a full busted person and if I want it to close, it doesn't fit anywhere else. So usually I just wear them draped open, which is fine. And I probably will with this one as well. But anyway, here's what I've got so far. And the white is working and I'm happy with it. I have lots of audio portions in my class, so I can listen to the material and I get to knit. So I'm getting a decent amount of knitting time done. But it is just a simple all-in-one raglan. You've built in your neckline already. You're building in your front panels, which are curling, which is fine because I can block them out. Hopefully that will come out. I have a thought on if it doesn't, but we'll see. It should. And even though it's white, I did discover that they're two different dye lots. You can see it right there. You can see that it's hard to see it right here, right now, because of the way the light is. But anyway, I can see the color shift from the dye lots. I don't think the average person will. Yeah, but they're not exactly the same. So what may happen with the sweater is I may knit it and then I may dye it. But I don't know if that's going to work per se because it would dye the second color for the color work. And I don't know if I want to do that. So I have some thoughts. I did change the pattern because she didn't cast on any stitches for the underarms. And I was like, that's not going to work for me. I'm not going to like the way that fits. So I did add on some stitches under my underarms and increased a couple stitches to get to the stitch count of the next size up so that the pattern would work with the stitches that I added to. I think it will work because it'll be well fitted enough in the shoulders. And it's not going to be big enough. They're not so big between the two sizes that it'll make a huge difference, or it shouldn't anyway. But I am getting close to starting the color work. And here's where you guys can help me. I don't know which one of these two to do. I was thinking of doing hand spun originally. And then when I thought about dyeing it, I was like, but I don't really want to dye my hand spun. So I picked two skeins. I do know I'm leaning towards one but both would look really good with the white and both would make me pretty happy. So we have this dusty purple. I should have just enough of this. This is like a full skein that's already wound up that I was going to do something else with. But yeah, it's purple. I mean, purple and pink are like my favorite colors, followed by blue, which is the next one. And I'm leaning towards this one. This was a skein of white that I did dye in blue, and I love the color shifts and the color variations within this. It's got the lighter parts and the darker parts. And I've had this, I'm not kidding, in my stash as one skein, because that's all I dyed for like 10 years. And I love it, and I've never figured anything out. So I'm kind of leaning towards this one, but I would love your opinion. Let me know which one I should do for the color work in this sweater. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I have rambled on long enough for this edition of Tea Tuesday. But I love you guys, and I appreciate that you guys give me this outlet to share my health journey, what's going well, what's not going well, what am I reading, what am I doing, because being creative and learning and growing is part of our health journey. So that has a place here as well. Well, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe and hit that bell notification. So every time I grab a cup of tea and sit down to chat with you, you'll be alerted to it. Have a wonderful and joyful day. Bye for now.